Thursday comes and so do we, and that is a dodgily euphemistic start to the show. Welcome along to your friend and mine, Golf is Ruining My Life, which, by the way, is brought to you by PGA Tour 2K25, which is Peggy rated 3.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if that's the line PGA Tour 2K25 were hoping for when they went, let's get behind these Golf is Ruining My Life guys. And why has he said that? Obviously, we love this game. It's the highest rated iteration of any golf sim in the last decade. We absolutely love it. And one of the big things that everyone's talking about this time around is the My Career mode on there, which means you can live out your fantasies, or at least my fantasies, of going from Challenge Tour, DP World Tour, PGA Tour, and into the majors. You can literally live out moving through the lower levels of golf up to the upper echelons of the majors.
I just love the language of My Career because it means when you are having the best time ever playing PGA Tour 2K25, which we cannot recommend it enough, and your other half or other significant person in your life, what are you doing up there? You can just say back, I'm working on my career. It's career stuff.
I'm working on my career. Goodness me. Hit a fade.
Leave me alone.
Hit a fade.
Pre-order PGA Tour 2K25 before the 27th of February to receive the extra butter and Adidas pack, which includes actor and pretty great golfer, not my words, their words, and now playable character Chris McDonald.
Yes. Get your hats, jackets, all the stuff in there to make your golfer look more like you, which I just think is amazing. PGA Tour 2K25 Deluxe or Legend Edition to get up to 7 days of early access starting February 21. Love saying that. PGA Tour 2K25 is out on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S on February 28, right? There's a link in all the descriptions. Going down there, go and give it a pre-order. Talking about this game so much, I genuinely am really buzzed to start playing it. And if you're coming to a live event, you'll be able to play it on the night before anyone else in the world.
I am wearing tights.
Okay, it's a good start. I know why this is. Listener, you might not know why this is, but I know why this is, because let me draw back the velvet curtain that sheathes Golf is Ruining My Life.
Get a wet wipe.
We've got a frantic price on our hands this morning because he's come in. I'm playing golf. I'm playing golf in 16 minutes. I got to record everything. I'm going to play golf. So it's because you're going to play winter golf, isn't it?
I just want you to know that we work in the same building. You have a radio station, I have a radio station, and frequently people ask me how Tom Green is, and I say, yeah, he's all right, yeah, we're making a golf podcast. And people go, God, that's a really good impression of him, which I think is unfair. I want you to work on your impression of me, because
I can't do impressions.
It's very easy. You just have to sound plummy and sad. That's all you've got to do to get to me. So to be fair, what's happening is we've got a lot on at the moment, and that's fine. But I have cancelled golf so many times this year. I have cancelled golf, I think 4 or 5 times. And I'm playing this morning, and Golf is Ruining My Life is actually... I'm going to change the show, Tom. It's going to be called Golf is Ruining My Golf, because...
Golf is Ruining My Life is ruining my golf.
So to be clear... At the moment we're recording this, right now, normally, if this podcast didn't exist, I would be sad. But if this podcast didn't exist, I would be on my way to the course. And within about 10 minutes or so, I would be starting to hit a few balls in the nets. So all of my warm-up time for my round this morning with Malcolm and my mate Darren, all of that warm-up time is going to be spent talking to you.
No, do you know what? And I do feel bad about that. And also, I am envious. And good. I don't think that, because I know you've had to cancel so many Friday games recently, because we've got to record 17 TikToks, or we've got to have a meeting about a live podcast event. So do you know what, Tom? I fully endorse and get behind you playing golf today. And should we also continue to peel back the velvet curtain? And
I've got to tell you about the tights at some stage, but yeah, go on.
Oh my God, do you know what? The curtain's closed again. Tell me about your tights.
Well, it's just something I have started doing in the colder weather, and I just thought I often play golf and sort of just tolerate being cold, and you don't need to. There's so many things you can do. For example, you can buy hand warmers. Get the electric rechargeable ones. Don't get those tea bags. They're not as good. And you can buy things like snoods. Oh, I love a snood.
Yes. Very Pep Guardiola.
Yeah, it's a very middle-aged man. I think if I was a gladiator, I'd be called Snood.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
And then the other day, I realised that I've got these I have to wear running tights when I go running. And I thought, if I put those on underneath my golf trousers, then my little pins are going to be as snug as a bug in a rug. So I speak to you wearing tights, and I feel like I should share that.
Now, I've considered, because I don't mind wearing tights. I've done that in winter. Back in the day, they'd have been called long johns, wouldn't they? If you were really old.
Yeah, because they had to make them masculine sounding, didn't they?
Yes.
That's so they were called girls are sad, something like that.
So I've done it in the past, but I think it's Tom Kim. I think it might be. Because have you seen the thing that he has behind his back? Have you seen this?
No.
So to keep his hands warm, it's almost like a tube, but which sits on his belt round his back, and he has a Titleist one, which looks really cool. And he just slips his hands into it to keep his hands warm.
Oh, that's clever. I didn't know that was a thing. So obviously, we've all seen the gloves, which I'll be honest, come perilously close to a golf ick. Do you or do you not approve of the gloves that sit on the handles of a trolley, like a pizza delivery motorbike? And you play your shot, and then you just slot your hands into the awaiting gloves to guide your trolley up the fairway.
Yeah.
I think they're a bit gross. And I've got iron clubhead covers.
It's the crossover between Uber Eats and golf we never knew we needed. They are a bit granddad for me, if I'm honest with you.
Yes, they are.
Would I have them? No, because do you know what? I wouldn't have them for many reasons. One, because I've taken the approach recently that I'm just not a trolley guy. I had a trolley for a bit, and I've sold my trolley, given my trolley away to my friend Jay, and I've now taken the approach that I'm not a trolley guy. And you have to have a trolley to have those glove things. You can't just have. Where else are you going to put them?
I'm going to have to stop you there, Tom. You just, that's like when a friend says, that's it, I've given up, I'm never going to find love. You just haven't found the right trolley, my friend.
No, do you know what it is for me with trolleys? It's just a little bit too much hassle for not a lot of reward, really.
Because, oh no, you've not got the right trolley, mate. What? Go on, explain what the hassle is.
Because you've got to, you got to charge it, you got to clean it, you got to fold it down, you got to store it. I already don't have enough storage space in my house for all the golf clubs and the bags and all the stuff, right?
Yeah, okay.
And I got rid of it. I got rid of my trolley. Granted, it was one of those old ones where the battery was the same sort of weight
size
as a car.
Head.
Yes. So I got rid of it, and I've not missed it. I think that's the big thing for me, is I've just not missed not having one. And also, surely the fitness goals and aims and stuff that is given to you by carrying is lost through an electric trolley.
Yeah, obviously you burn less calories if you have got a trolley. But then equally, if you've got a trolley, you don't have to carry your bag. Because you've described all the negatives of a trolley, but then the negatives of the bag are you've got to carry it, and you've got to carry it, and you've got to carry it. Listen, I'm a carrier. I carry 80% of the year, but I love my trolley when I need it. You just haven't had the right trolley. Trolleys have changed a lot in the last couple of years. If you are watching or listening to this and you've got a trolley you'd recommend, then write in the comments or drop us an email, thetoms@golfersruiningmylife.co.uk, because there are some super sexy trolleys that fold down incredibly small these days. And also, I've got an electric one. I've got a power caddy that's quite old now, and it does that thing where it drifts. You know, and you try and leave it, and it just and then you've got to adjust the little wheel at the front, and it never works very well. But I do love it. But then my friend got one that's not electric, but it's one of those new super bouncy ones.
Okay, yeah. I know those.
You don't need it takes nothing. It's incredible. It defies the laws of physics. You just give it the slightest push, and it just sort of bounces along. It's so good. I think with the right trolley, Tom. And this is a big statement to make, you'd have your mind changed.
Wow. Is it Stewart's Golf? Or am I wrong there? There is a trolley brand that's doing a lot in the golf YouTube space. They worked with Peter Finch a little bit, and they looked really good. To be fair, they look really well built and powerful and proper. Okay. I think I just had my hands burnt a little bit with the one that I had, which was an absolute faff.
Which was rubbish.
And also, when you spend as much time in the rough and in the trees, as I do, dragging a trolley along with you through all that.
Oh,
is
yeah.
Sorry, my ball's over there. I've left my trolley on the other side of this wood. Let me just... I can't get it through there. God.
That has got to be such a golfing low when you're having to drag a trolley through woods.
Yeah.
that is really bad.
My biggest golfing low, I remember, was when I bought I can't remember what was the name of the edition, but it was the 90s golf shoe. It was like the 90s Nike trainer. Had like a wave almost on it like this. Really fashionable that came out. I got them from Trendy. Is it Trendy Golfer? Something like that.
Right.
And I loved them. And I did that thing where like I'd only wear them in summer. And within 3 weeks of wearing them in summer golf, I'd trudge them through enough woods and streams that even in the height of summer, they were destroyed. And I remember just thinking, you're not... It's like when I tried the Scotty Cameron Newport. I just thought, you're not good enough for this. Stop
it. It's such a horrible moment when golf looks back at you and tells you. My biggest golfing low was my brand new Cobras about this time last year, about February last year, and I had a new bag as well, and I took both my dogs up to the course with me, and one of my dogs got spooked, and at that moment they were tied to one of my irons. I just looped the lead handle around my irons, and my puppy dog ran, and the other dog got spooked by the other dog running, and they ran, knocked the bag over, and dragged my brand new clubs through the thickest, wettest, sloppiest section of our course, which is already quite a sloppy course.
Yep.
And they just dragged, and it was covered. My brand new clubs looked like sticks. They looked like brown sticks that had fallen from a tree. And I cried. I'm not going to lie to you, I cried.
It's funny when you have those moments where you have we romanticize this sport. I mean, this is what this show's built on, is the romance of golf. And when, especially now we're in winter, where we look forward to summer and we dream and we plot and we think what it's going to be like. And then you get there and it's not quite like that. I did the exact same thing when I brought my dog onto the golf course. I had this lovely image of my sausage dog, my Dachshund turtle, being with me, this little bonding moment, and then go and have a couple of Guinness afterwards. Well, she wouldn't. And she was a nightmare. I think I must have told this story in the podcast when she ran down the first after I was on the green and the guys who were playing behind us continued to drive off, even though there's a dog running at them, which is just ridiculously bad form. And she also was frightened of the clattering of the golf clubs when you moved.
Yes. Well, you know what I've got to say to you, mate, and this is a perfect way to end the first half.
Golf through my life?
Club head covers.
Oh, never.
There would be no clattering.
Adverts.
Hello, welcome back to Golf is Ruining My Life. This podcast is brought to you by PGA Tour 2K25. PGA Tour 2K25, by the way, is PEGI rated 3.
That is absolutely right. The newest iteration of the greatest golf sim game of the last decade. I cannot wait to get my hands on it. If you are coming down to the live show, which is now in 3 days' time, Tom?
Yeah, it's incredible.
Terrifying. How are you feeling?
Yeah. About the event, I feel fine because what I'm doing is looking forward to it, and it's a bit like a marriage. I'm just sort of pretending it's not really going to happen.
Okay, fine. Good, sure.
I'm not really thinking about the actual night. I'm just really looking forward to the vibes and the buzz of meeting everyone and chatting to everyone, and also getting my hands on this game because we are going to have screen set up and you can play PGA Tour 2K25 because it is a great game. So we are very much looking forward to seeing you there. And don't forget, with this game, you can play courses from all over the world. So you can choose whichever course is your favourite that's on the major rotation this year and go and have a little whack on it.
Yeah, and on the night as well, and I recommend you do this after the event when you get the game, is on the night we're going to do a longest drive on PGA Tour 2K25 and we're going to do a nearest the pin. So
yes.
The nice thing about this is you'll be in one bay, try and do your nearest the pin with an actual golf club on TrackMan, and all the realities of golf will be there. That you're in the near side bunker on the left because you really should have clubbed up, and it was probably more like a 6-iron than a 7-iron, but you didn't want to lose face in front of your friends. And your nearest the pin will be 45 foot, and then you go on the game. You might even get an ace.
Yeah, you might. You could definitely play
Could.
for that. You could live your dreams. Just go and play PGA Tour 2K25 for the 27th of February. If you pre-order it, you'll receive the Extra Butter and Adidas pack. That includes actor, pretty great golfer and now playable character, Chris McDonald. You got hats, you got jackets, you got shoes, you got all sorts of stuff you can have before you even start hitting the golf balls.
Of course, pre-order PGA Tour 2K25 Deluxe or Legend Edition to get up to 7 days of early access starting, when? February 21. PGA Tour 2K25 is out on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S on February 28. Anyway, back to the podcast price. What's the plan then today? A little bit of winter golf, is it, in your long johns?
Yeah. A little bit of wet winter golf in my long johns. To be clear, I've got trousers on top of the tights. Probably should have said that earlier on because everyone's probably being sick into their hands at the idea of me in tights. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. I haven't played for ages. Well, I played for like over a week. And playing with Malcolm, really good golfer. Malcolm is a fellow Ratellerite. He is obsessed with getting around the body, which is something which I'm very driven by at the moment. I've got to put the arms to sleep a bit and just get that body moving. Yeah. And I'm playing with my mate Darren, who's terrible.
Oh, cool. So it could be a long round. Are we thinking 18?
Well,
Surely
it can't
not.
be because I've got a meeting with you at the end of it. So I'm not sure. We might not get 18 and I might nip off on 16. But I'm sitting here as we record and the sun is coming up because we record first thing in the morning and I can see blue sky. So I might even put some sun cream on, Tom. I'm looking forward to getting out there and I've got to try and manage expectations. That's the key, isn't it? It's all about managing expectations because you might not have played for ages, but you know that you can get those rounds where you haven't played for ages and somehow that's cleared the clouds, ironically, and you play really well. And secretly you start to think, oh, today's the day I'm going to do that. And it's not. It's just not. You're going to play badly.
Yeah, I love when that happens because I've had that quite a lot recently as my golf is quite sporadic at the moment, but not for long because we've actually just put a date in the diary for me and you to go and play my new course.
Yes, there were some very exciting WhatsApps yesterday. In fact, I wonder if this is something you do as well when you are trying to organise a round of golf and you're just trying to desperately find that day that it works. And you just watch the Sundays tick by and we're having this text conversation in February and before you know it, you're like, May?
Yeah, it's horrible.
Mid-May. It's not as bad as that. Luckily, we're going to play at Tom's new course in a couple of weeks. Tom, when we're there, we should video some stuff. We should think of some challenges to stick out on our YouTubes.
Yeah, definitely. And I like the fact we're calling it my new course, despite them not yet having replied to my email or let me in. But I'm sure they will let me in at some point.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think what's interesting about what you're saying about when you first play again after a while, I've had this so much recently where I have a few weeks off or a month off and then go and play again. And weirdly, for the first few holes, you're really good. And then
that's what I mean.
I don't know how to describe this other than you end up getting in your own way.
Oh, mate, you've literally, just word for word, what Rotella talks about. Get out of your way because the reason you're good when you come back to it is you don't realise just how much muscle memory, how much your body has recorded what it needs to do. So sit back and relax and let your body get on with it and don't cover it in thoughts. And what happens is after, exactly as you say, 3 or 4 holes, you cover it in thoughts and those thoughts get in the way. And before you know it, you've got a checklist and you're checking, doors to manual, make sure the wings are down, make sure the display is... It's just no. See that ball? This is what Rotella talks about. Approach hitting that ball, be target orientated, like a kid. I want to throw that ball over to there. It's that sort of thinking that isn't even thinking, it's just feeling. It's just like a feeling of wanting to get that over there. And when you get into that zone... You can play really, really well. But you're right. It's a really interesting thing. How long does that sustain for? How long does that little, people call it beginner's luck or whatever. But how long you can make that last for is key.
Yeah, it's also until you start getting grabby, I think. Grabby in the sense of, oh, do you know what, actually? I could shoot my handicap today. Or, you know what? I think if I'm 2 over after 9, can you imagine what do you know what I mean? You start to plan and... you start to think that you're better than you are, and you start to get to the end of the round in your head, and that must be the getting in your way thing. But what score? Okay, let's look at Stableford, right? So this is the first day you play in a week. It's going to be a little bit hectic. It's winter golf. What Stableford score would you be happy with?
Can we not
today?
do Stableford? I hate it when people talk about how many points they got.
No, but I think the reason that I like Stableford, the reason that I like Stableford is because it's it's a leveler for everyone, right? So, okay, for example, if you go to, okay, I'd be happy with shooting 78. I've never shot 78, so I can't relate to that, right? I don't know what that looks like to me.
But I don't know but this is like I'm in Fahrenheit and you're in Celsius because I don't know how to bridge this gap because all I can think about is, you're right, I would think about it in terms of how many over par I'd be happy with today, right? My handicap is almost irrelevant at this time of year because I've not done a proper carded round. As you'll see if you're friends with me on my EG, look me up, Tom Price, Home Club, Muswell Hill. My handicap is like 5.6. I ain't shooting anywhere near that. Handicap's irrelevant. I reckon I'll be happy if I biff it round in 12 over today. Like, in fact, that's...
So 84-ish?
Yeah. Anywhere 80 to 84, I'll be really happy with. And I honestly... Because... and this is what people say all the time, isn't it? When you haven't played the short game.
Yeah.
The short game.
I'm not going to let us move on from the Stableford thing yet, because I think we're missing something here. Right? And I want to get to the nubbin of the issue of why I like Stableford, okay?
Okay.
So, if you come in and say you shot 78, this is all the information that I need to know whether you've had a good round. I need to know what the par of the course is. I need to know what your handicap is.
Yeah.
Right? That's 2 bits of information that I might not know to even work out whether you've played well or not. If you come in and go, I got 36 points, that's all I need to know that you've had a good round of golf. And that's why I like Stableford.
I feel like it's like if I've arrived at your house after a 3-hour drive and, or let's say a 90-mile drive, and I arrive at your house and I say, I did it in 2 hours. That makes sense to me. But this is like you saying, I arrived at your house and my fuel efficiency was 51 miles per gallon.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't.
And that's what I care about.
But to be fair, I am an MPG fan, my friend. There's Reddit threads for us.
Yeah.
No, I don't really. So hang on, it's 36. This is the thing. I've just never really taken the time to.
It's fascinating, isn't it? Like people's golfing blind spots, because there's so much in golf that you know
rules,
way
for example.
More. Yeah. Well, welcome to this podcast. There's so much stuff in golf that I think you know a lot more than me on, and then there's stuff like Stableford, and I realise that like it's just not your thing, is it? So for me, Stableford's really simple. The reason I like Stableford, it's simple, it's a leveler. I understand how you've played, you understand how I've played without any extra information. And also, I like the fact that it blurs the lines a little bit as to how bad it was or how good it was. So if you had an awful round of golf, you have to come in and go, oh yeah, I shot 104. But you could just go, oh, I got 24 points or whatever. Those big blow-up holes don't count as much.
So Stableford is a way of hiding how bad you are, but celebrating when you do well.
Thank you.
I wonder if, and I'm going to get into dodgy territory. I'm probably going to annoy people, and I don't care about listeners because they understand it's a conversation. But I'm waiting for the YouTube and TikTok hate. I think Stableford is for less good golfers.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. No. No,
I don't know many golfers off single figures who talk about Stableford in the same way that golfers off 15 or 16 wang on about Stableford. All the people I know who are off single figures would never say, I shot 38 points. They'll say, I shot 2 over. It's got cold in here.
It's not. I don't necessarily disagree with that point. I don't necessarily if you're a low single figure golfer, you probably do come in and just go, oh, I'm 3 over today, or I'm 5. Yeah, I'm 5 over today. Yeah, but there's loads of competitions, especially in winter, that are Stableford competitions. So whether you're a good golfer or not, that's just what the competition is. So you've got to play those rules.
Okay.
Like most like I played in a competition just before Christmas. It was like a really casual Saturday roll up. Loads of different sorts of golfers there, but it was a Stableford competition.
I mean, look, the great thing about Stableford, as we know, and I do love it, is the blob, the power of the blob, because that means that you can still enjoy your round of golf. And this speaks to the fact that I like to punish myself via golf. I don't visit S&M dungeons in Mayfair anymore. I refuse, I deny the power of the blob, which means I will punish myself by saying I got a 9. Whereas, and this actually, do you know what? This is quite interesting. It annoys me because my nephew, my brother, they are probably off like 26 to 34 sort of vibe. And they will send, we've got a little WhatsApp group, and they will send their cards through 9, 9, 8, 9. And I always think, just blob it, guys. You don't need to put the 10, 11, 12 on there. Blob it. Why are you doing that to yourself? So you look at it and go, I'm crap. I hate this. I'm rubbish. Blob it so that you are, and that's what I say to kids as well, and anyone starting out. So you're just celebrating the better shots. So you know what? There's something in that. There's definitely something in the blob and being able to go, I got 7 on the first, but hey, I shot 32 points because I'm great.
Yeah,
like that's a very powerful point.
Yeah, exactly. But on the other side of this, I do think it's important for new golfers every 6 months to just do a stroke play score, because it gives some indication as to where you are. Like a lot of my mates who are getting into golf at the moment, who are like 28 handicappers, you are in this sort of unknown territory where you don't really have any idea what your handicap is. You've not played enough. And as you say, you do a lot of Stableford or, I've just blobbed that. Like my friend Eki, who is obsessed with golf and is going from probably high 20s to more like an 18 handicap now. Yeah. Every couple of months, I see him do a proper round of golf with a proper stroke play score. And even if it's something mad like, I shot 120 today, at least next time you play and you get 105, you go, there's improvement. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and I would say it should be a lot less than 6 months. You should at least, if you're playing twice a week, you should be putting in a card at least once a month. I'd say once every 2 weeks, to be honest. You should be trying to do that, because there's things like holing out. Always hole out your putts. Just always hole out your putts. That's the problem with Stableford again, is people go, this is for 6, which is no point, so I won't bother holding this putt. And I think that's that's a shame. You should always try and hole out those putts, because you just should. It's good practice to do that. So I'm gonna Stableford today, and my aim is, bearing in mind I don't know anything about Stableford points, I'll hope for 60 points. Is that about right?
That sounds about right. Yeah, cool, 60's about right, Tom.
Fine. Look, we've run out of time. It's been a lovely show, but I'll be honest, my mind is more on golf today than golf is ruining my life. I am really excited to go and play. I just can't wait to play golf. And with all due respect, Tom, I might even switch my phone off, so that when I put it back on afterwards, the Golf is Ruining My Life WhatsApp group will have at least 100 messages on it.
Yeah, no, do. I think it's important that, and this is quite meta talking about this show, but I think it's important that anyone that loves golf as much as we do doesn't let golf YouTube and any content you create invade what happens out there too much, because that is our safe space. That's where we just go and
safe space. Yes.
Go and have fun. Well, Tom, enjoy it. And if you are just listening to the audio podcast right now, go to our YouTube channel, because there's loads of standalone content on there that never makes it into the audio now, of like looks into some PGA Tour events and some topics that we don't talk about on the podcast. So go and check it out. And thank you to PGA Tour 2K25, of course.
Yes, fantastic game. And don't forget, you can get your hands on that game and come and play with me and Tom this Sunday. I think there's still like 3 tickets left. So if you want to come down this Sunday, we're at Pitch in Canary Wharf, brand new Pitch in Canary Wharf. The link to buy tickets is in the episode description, and hopefully we'll see you there. If you can't make it, don't worry, we'll be putting that episode out in the next week or so. And I'm looking forward to Sunday. Very excited. We should plan the show at some stage, Tom. We should plan the show.
Yeah, it'll come together. We'll see you there with Incy Mehmet. See you next time.